The St. Louis Dodgers faced the Toledo Hawks of the Tri-State Collegiate League on August 11, 2012 at Bowman Park in the quarterfinal round of the NABF College World Series. The Dodgers reached the quarterfinals, taking first place in Pool D with a 3-game sweep of pool play, while the Hawks finished tied for second in the tough Pool C to the Michigan Bulls and reached the quarterfinals through with the tiebreaker. The game had a pitching matchup between two right-handers, as Drew Bravo of Lewis and Clark Community College took the mound for the Dodgers and was opposed by Jeff Davis of Owens Community College for the Hawks. The Hawks led off the game with a double down the third base line by Sam Fisher, Adrian College. Next up, Kyle Neerman, Bluffton University, grounded out, but moved Fisher to third. Later in the inning, Matt Vannett of Bowling Green State sent the ball up the middle to score Fisher from third on a fielding error. In the top of the third inning, Scott Sommerfeld, University of Missouri, sent a bouncing ball up the middle and beat out a throw for a leadoff single. Mike Wilson of Lindenwood University drew a walk and moved Sommerfeld into scoring position. Next up, Sean Ulrich of the University of Missouri hit the ball into the gap in left center field to score the speedy Sommerfeld from second and tie the game 1-1. Ryan Hall of Webster University loaded the bases with a softly hit ball to the Hawks shortstop. Mike Lockett of Missouri S&T University came to the plate with the bases loaded and hit the ball into shallow center field to score Wilson. Later in the inning, with the bases still loaded and one out, Clay Miller of Missouri Western State University broke his bat and grounded the ball to Vannett at third base. Sean Ulrich was called out at the plate, but Miller reached base on a fielder's choice. The top of the second finally ended when Denton Reed of SIUE lined the ball to first base on a great play by the Hawks first baseman Ryan Williams of Tiffin University. Paul Trenhale of Truman State and Scott Sommerfeld hit back-to-back line drives to Matt Vannett of BGSU at third base to lead off the third inning for the Dodgers. Mike Wilson drew a 2-out walk, followed by Sean Ulrich. Ryan Hall then loaded the bases with another infield hit. Mike Lockett got under the ball and flied out to the Hawks right fielder to end the top of the third and another bases loaded chance for the Dodgers. In the bottom of the third inning, Ben Hammer, University of Toledo, was hit by a pitch. Matt Vannett then hit the ball into the gap in left center field that rolled all the way to the wall and scored Hammer for an RBI double. Next up, Matt Pizzullo of Bowling Green State hit the ball just out of reach of the Dodgers shortstop, Stephen Kohler, to score Vannett for an RBI single. Pizzullo then stole second base to get into scoring position. RJ Rios of Adrian College then lined the ball past Kohler at shortstop into left field for an RBI single to give the Toledo Hawks a 4-2 lead. The Dodgers got out of the inning after a pitching change when Evan Walls jammed the Hawks batter, Fred Sharp of BGSU, and got a 1-3 putout. Denton Reed of SIUE drilled the ball and came within inches of a home run off the top of the wall in right field. Reed rounded the bases for a 2-out triple in the top of the fourth. The Dodgers, however, left Reed on base and the Hawks held the 2-run lead. In the top of the fifth inning, Scott Sommerfeld led off the inning with an infield single. Mike Wilson was then walked for his third straight at-bat. Sean Ulrich reached base on a fielder's choice, then stole second to put runners at second and third for the Dodgers. Ryan Hall flared the ball into center field but not deep enough to score Sommerfeld from third. With 2 outs, Mike Lockett was hit by a pitch to again load the bases for the Dodgers. But the Dodgers failed to capitalize on another bases-loaded chance when the Hawks pitcher, Jeff Davis, got Kohler to fly out to the center fielder. Mike Wilson reached base on an error to lead off the 7th inning. Later in the inning, Ryan Hall sent the ball into left center field, while Mike Wilson came around to score, and Hall was called safe at third on a close play for an RBI triple. Steve Kohler of John Wood Community College lined the ball up the middle to score Hall and tie the game 4-4. In the bottom of the 8th inning, Matt Pizzullo got a leadoff single when the ball took a high bounce over Paul Trenhale at first base. Ryan Williams then flied out to deep center field before A.J. Rios flared the ball into right field for a single.
No good.
After the Dodgers made a pitching change, Fred Sharp then walked to load the bases. Zach Michael of the University of Toledo laid down a bunt as the Hawks put on the squeeze play, with Pizzullo scoring from third to give the Hawks a 5-4 lead. The Dodgers got out of the jam when Sam Fisher grounded to Steve Kohler for the 6-3 putout. Down by 1 run, it was up to the Dodgers in the top of the 9th inning. Ryan Hall nearly beat out a throw by Vanett, but was called out on a 5-3 putout. Mike Lockett got jammed on an inside pitch and hit the ball back towards the mound for a 1-3 putout. Steve Kohler came to the plate with 2 outs. Kohler worked the count full and drew a 2-out walk to give the Dodgers the tying run at first base. Matt Severs laid off the first 2 pitches of his at-bat on 2 pitches low and away. Severs then took strike 1 on the inside corner. Kohler advanced to second on a wild pitch to bring Severs' count to 3-1. The count drew full from a pitch on the outside corner of the plate. Severs then made solid contact and got home run distance, but the ball curved just foul down the first base line. He was then run up on a questionable pitch near the outside corner of the plate. Despite the loss, the Dodgers got solid pitching throughout most of the game. Drew Bravo, Lewis and Clark Community College, started the game and went 2 2/3 innings. Bravo allowed only 3 earned runs on 6 hits and struck out 3 batters. In the 3rd inning, Bravo was relieved by Evan Walls of Stowe State University. Walls went 3 1/3 innings and allowed no runs on a lone hit, a single in the 4th inning, and walked only 1 batter. Walls also recorded 2 strikeouts in his outing. Trevor Manis of William Woods University pitched 1 1/3 innings. In the 7th inning, Manis set down the side on 2 ground balls and a flyout. He was responsible for 1 run in the 8th and allowed a single run on 2 hits and gave up no walks. Blake Collins of the University of Central Missouri came into the game to pitch the last 2/3 of the bottom 8th inning. After a leadoff walk, Collins got the 2nd out of the inning on a sacrifice bunt, and the final out on a ground out to shortstop. I'm here with Evan Walls. You pitched here in the game against the Toledo Hawks, the home team. It was a tough loss for you guys. Questionable call there late in the game to end it. But you pitched really well. Gave up no hits, no runs, and just a walk. So that was a pretty good pitching performance. It seemed like you had the sinker and the curve and those off-speed pitches that we've seen from you. Had those going today. Why don't you talk about facing the Hawks? They're a really good team. They got a lot of power.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You can tell that they're just a great team all around. You know, every one of their players was solid. You know, all around, hitting, fielding. Just a great team. And they just beat us. That's about it. They just beat us good.
And how was it playing on the Dodgers this season? The Dodgers, besides being known for offense, were known for some really solid defense. So talk about playing in front of those guys and them having your back on the mound.
Oh, well, definitely. Having an infield and an outfield and a catcher, like my boy Mike here, it's just, I've never really had that before, you know. So it's great just having a solid group of guys behind you, you know, to be there for you. It's been interesting. It's been an interesting summer because never really spent a lot of time in St. Louis, but got to know the city and got to meet a lot of great fellow St. Louisians.
We loved having you here in St. Louis too. That was awesome. For any of you who don't know, you're from Memphis, Tennessee, right?
Right around that area.
Yeah, get some barbecue down there. Well, we'll let you get going after the tough loss and resting up after multiple innings of work there. So thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
And good luck in the future. I'm here with Mike Wilson after the Dodgers lost to the Toledo Hawks. It was a close game. It was a really exciting game the whole way, really close, within 1 or 2 runs, both the teams. And you had 3 walks, so you got on base a lot, and I think came around and scored a couple times. So why don't you talk about your performance here in the game versus the Hawks?
Same thing as the first game. I was really just trying to get on base. It was such a close game, and one base runner can make the whole difference. So I knew what my job was, and I tried to do it.
And maybe just talk a little bit about that loss. That was an unfortunate play there. We won't go into the umpire and that kind of stuff, but just how the guys dealing with that and what's the mentality like now?
It's a tough loss. You never really want to go out like that after having a great summer. So everybody's a little down, but it's the way the game is. It can be cruel sometimes.
Well, I was up in the press box as the sports information guy for this tournament, and from that perspective, you guys impressed a lot of people in the tournament, not just from your baseball skills as a team, but also just how you played the game, really fair, very sportsman, and I mean those fiery things with umpires happen. That's just part of the game. So yeah, you know, nothing really against that, but in general, it was a really good outing for you. You guys did make the quarterfinals, so maybe talk about that.
We knew coming into this with the team we have and the new additions to the team that we'd have a great chance to go far, and we did. It's just things didn't go our way, and that happens. But our guys really battled. They did really well. I couldn't have asked for a better group of guys to play the summer league with.
Well, that's a good note to end it on. How's that? We'll let you go join the team and everything on the bus, and have a safe trip home and everything.
Thank you. You too.
And we'll see you back in St. Louis.
You too.